remember being in New York and just after the September the 11th attacks, and you were being praised for your calm leadership, your cool head in the wake of what had happened. You were even dubbed at one stage America's mayor. What do you make of President Trump's response? Because he has been criticised for not being able to calm the situation down.
Oh my God, you're joking. Trump's been criticised by the media. Oh my God, the media have criticised President Trump. Well, let's do a whole news story on this. Let's get an interview going live, because I simply cannot believe that the media have criticised President Trump. Well, he must have done something wrong. He must have done something wrong. The media wouldn't have criticised President Trump. This is going to be... It doesn't matter what happens in the world anymore, does it? The story is always, and President Trump is an idiot. It doesn't matter what happens. A T-Rex can escape from an underground secret government facility and start running down Main Street in New York, and they'll be like, and President Trump tweeted this, and oh, what an idiot President Trump is for tweeting that. I can't believe the tweet that President Trump did about the escaped T-Rex, which is still out there on the loose eating people at some point. But let's really drill down into the spelling mistakes in President Trump's tweet, because the takeaway from every single news story here is that Orange Man is bad. What's that? What's that? There's still no news on the grooming gang report in England? The children have been raped? Thousands of children raped? The government's not doing anything about it? Well, let's drill down in one of Trump's tweets, see if he's an...
What do you make of President Trump's response? Because he has been criticised for not being able to calm the situation down.
President Trump is criticized for everything by the left-wing media.
Kick it!
He has handled it exactly correctly. Immediately, he brought the FBI into it. President Obama used to delay weeks before he brought the FBI into it. President Obama had many, many more of these incidents than President Trump. The difference is that the left-wing media, including the international media, treats President Trump in a totally different way and exaggerates all the situations involving him. He expressed immediately his horror at what happened. He brought the FBI into it. He, along with everyone in this country, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, condemns what the police officer did. For example, I don't believe they've been charged harshly enough. I think the Minnesota authorities and Minneapolis authorities have badly mishandled this case, and they should be charged with first-degree murder, particularly the police officer who had his knee on the neck of Mr. Floyd while he was being told constantly that the man couldn't breathe. I was a prosecutor for 17 years of my life.
Yes.
And I prosecuted over 70 police officers. And I believe that the mayor, the governor, and the authorities in Minneapolis have badly mishandled this case.
That's fair enough. And I'm sure that many people will agree with you. But my point was about President Trump rather than...
Sorry, I just want to cut you off there, Mr. Giuliani. You appear to be actually trying to talk about the situation, and you appear to actually be trying to make things better for black people, and you appear to actually be trying to hold the authorities to account, and that is not the point of this news story. What I really want to talk about is Orange Man bad.
Well, sure,
your view of it. For instance, shortly after what had happened and then the protests, he had tweeted using a phrase that a bigoted police chief had used decades ago.
Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry to cut you off there. I really don't want to get into the ifs or the buts of the case or finding out if the authorities did the right thing. What I really want to say is that Trump said something, and then sleight of hand, carry the one denominator, he's the same as a racist. That's what we're doing here at the news.
And the looting starts, the shooting starts. Now, many people think that that was a totally inappropriate way to calm down protest when that's almost a threat of violence that even Twitter took action over.
I love the way this lady pretends to clutch her pearls. Even Twitter, even impartial Twitter, even they were forced into it. Oh no, I'm sure everyone at Twitter was just, oh, we really don't want to get involved and take any sort of left-wing side here, but I guess what this occasion, even we at Twitter must be brought into this political situation. We'd really rather not. We've been shadow banning conservatives for 6 years. There's about 5 behind-the-scenes whistleblower videos that you can go and watch right now of people at work at Twitter and Google saying, oh yeah, we're banning conservatives and we're making sure nothing pro-Trump hits the airways ever. But even Twitter...
Of course it wasn't. That's part of what you do. That's part of how you deliberately misinterpret President Trump, because the left-wing media has some kind of a hatred of him that's actually pathological.
Rudy, it's Piers. Rudy, it's Piers Morgan here.
That's true, and the reality is,
Rudy.
This is my favourite part of the whole video, where Piers Morgan seems to think that his name carries any sort of political clout. So it's Rudi, Piers Morgan here, and Rudi just ignores him for like 10 minutes. He's just so full of himself. Rudi. Piers Morgan here. Piers Morgan. Here comes Piers Morgan. Like, Piers, nobody listened to you since you hacked that dead girl's phone.
That's true. And the reality is, whoever made that statement, the statement can mean a lot of different things.
No, it was a Miami police chief who said that he didn't care about accusations of police brutality. He was a bigoted person himself. Why would President Trump quote something like that when he's trying to calm the situation down?
He didn't quote him. He used that expression, probably not knowing where it came from. The reality is that this became out of control because the mayor of Minneapolis, who is a left-wing progressive Democrat, failed to protect the citizens of his city from riots.
Yeah, but Rudi, can I jump in?
Not only that, he gave...
Rudi, can I jump in? It's Piers Morgan here, first of all.
Let me finish.
Well, it's Piers. I want to say hello first.
I'm up here at 1 o'clock in the morning to answer your questions.
Yeah, Rudi.
So I would think you'd give me the courtesy of answering.
Rudi.
I know you don't like my answers, but I think you'd give me the courtesy of giving them.
Rudi.
You have a completely warped picture of what happened, which is not atypical.
Rudi, can you hear me?
I mean, this is constantly what is being done to President Trump by the left-wing media.
All right, Rudi.
He has handled this.
Rudi, it's Piers. Rudi, can't you hear me being rude? Rudi, it's Piers Morgan. I'm trying to cut you off and be a jerk. I don't understand why you're not getting back to me.
Handled this really superbly.
Okay, Rudi.
Many fewer incidents than President Obama.
Rudi, it's Piers Morgan. It's Piers Morgan being a douchebag. Can you hear me being a douche? Why isn't he letting me interrupt him and be a douche? Rudi, it's Piers Morgan being a douche. I know you can hear someone being a douche and you're ignoring them, but do you know that it's Piers Morgan?
Can you hear me, Rudi? It's Piers Morgan.
I can hear you interrupting me, sure.
Okay, well, A, it's good to talk to you again. It's been a while. Secondly, I'm sorry.
It's nice to talk to you, but I really do want to answer.
Rudi, I'm sorry, but you're talking total claptrap.
That's what we were waiting for, is it, Piers? That's why you had to jump in. This is the incredible mainstream media analysis. It's like the interview is being conducted by a 7-year-old child without any manners. It's like, Rudi, can you hear me, Rudi? Rudi, it's Piers Morgan. It's Piers Morgan. Rudi, it's Piers Morgan. It's Piers Morgan. I want to talk. Okay, can I talk? What you said was stinky, winky, clappy, trappy.
Sorry.
No, I'm not, Piers.
Yeah, you are.
Absolutely not.
You are. With
you're
respect, you keep saying it's the left-wing media that have somehow misquoted Donald Trump.
Piers, that's fake news. Do you think we're stupid? We all just watched the clip. The clip happened 5 seconds ago on the program that you're on now, right now. We all just watched it. You can't just tell us, well, you said that we misquoted him. No, he didn't. He said that that's exactly what he said, but he wasn't quoting some racist... It's like whatever Trump says, that the left-wing media, they come back and go, well, Trump said that today is Wednesday, and 100 years ago, a racist on a Wednesday said that it was Wednesday, so Trump's a racist. Okay? It's like, do you want to get into the details of the case? No, we want to talk about how Trump is racist.
The President of the United States' job, when this kind of thing happens, is to keep temperatures down.
Oh, thank God we have serial phone hacker Piers Morgan to tell the President of the United States of America what his job is. Do you think when there's some sort of a world emergency that in the President's Joint Chief of Staff room, they go, oh my God, so it looks like it's going nuclear with Iran. Quick, get Piers Morgan on the phone and he can tell us all what our job is. Mr. President, it looks like the situation is elevated in North Korea and we're going to need to step in immediately. I suggest that we get June Sarpong on the phone.
Not to put fuel on the fire. For the President of the United States to tweet that when the looting starts, the shooting starts, directly quoting a racist police chief.
The hypocrisy of the left-wing media is just literally out of control. So we got a situation where, because a guy was killed by a police officer, people are going around stealing trainers and looting shops and burning down people's businesses. Most of them are black. This is happening in black areas. So people are going around and they're smashing up the black community. Right? So at this point, President Trump comes out and goes, listen, don't go around looting, because when you go around looting, you might get shot. That is a way to de-escalate the situation. It's like saying, hey, look, don't go around thinking you can go looting, because when you start looting, people are going to get shot. And that is exactly what happens. At the same time that President Trump comes out and goes, please don't go around and doing looting, because that's when people get shot, the left-wing media go, well, President Trump's racist, and everyone should get really mad at Trump, and people should just be furious right now. And Trump's trying to fan the flames and pour fuel on it.
Back in the 60s, who used dogs and guns on black people.
So do you
just watch this segment and ask yourself, who out of these two people is trying to pour fuel on the flames? President Trump or Piers Morgan? President Trump is like, don't break the law because you can get shot. And Piers Morgan is like, because he said don't break the law or you can get shot, what he's saying is release dogs and hounds upon the blacks. That's what he's saying. You know that's what he's saying because 55 years ago, someone who's racist said the words looting and shooting in a sentence. So what President Trump's saying is release the hounds.
Do you think he went to a book and took that out of a book?
I don't care, Rudi.
Knowing it came
I don't
from
care
the
if he.
racist
I don't care if he knew where it came from or not.
Rudi, I don't care. I don't care about the facts or the information. I work at the mainstream media, Rudi. Orange man bad. Trump is a bad racist. I don't care about the actual facts. I don't care about whether what I'm saying is dangerous. I work for the mainstream media, Rudi. It's Piers Morgan. Behave yourself, or I'll kill you and hack your phone.
Of course he didn't.
He was quoting. He was quoting an infamous line, and he was quoting an infamous line.
How you people have become political propagandists.
Who are you
Than
people?
journalists.
Who are you people?
Gave up being journalists years ago.
I've known Donald Trump. I've known Donald Trump 13 years. I've been very fair-minded about him, as I'm sure you're aware.
Really
I've interviewed him. I've interviewed him many, many, many times. And I have found
if you're trying to sell people that he deliberately quoted some racist, then you are engaging in absolute lying and deception.
I'm telling you, you shouldn't give him a pass. Why are you giving him a pass?
Why do I give him a pass?
Why do you say he didn't know where that quote came from? How do you know that?
Because I know him for 30 years, and I know he's a fair man who doesn't have a racist bone in his body. You know that too. And therefore, you're going through politically correct propaganda so you can be popular.
No, I heard the president. No, I heard the president use the phrase when the looting starts.
You know he's not a racist.
Can I finish? Can you let me finish?
Well, ask a question and I'll answer it.
Right.
But then don't interrupt me.
If you just stop talking for a minute, I'll tell you what my question is.
Did you want me on here to answer questions? Or did you want me on here so you could make a political propaganda
Well, actually,
point?
the only person making political propaganda statements is you so far.
I haven't made any political propaganda statement.
You said the whole thing is a left-wing myth. Everyone's got it in for poor old Donald Trump. And I'm telling you that when this thing started, the president's job was to calm things down. Instead, he said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. And from the moment he said that, there's been total carnage on the streets of America.
That happens to be true.
Huh?
That happens to be an accurate statement.
And you think that's a sensible thing, do you? A sensible thing for the president to do.
Do you know, and did you report that a police officer was killed, assassinated last night?
Yeah, I think what's been going on in these riots, I think what's been going on...
Did you report that?
No, but that doesn't fit the narrative. Don't you understand? It doesn't matter if policemen are killed. It doesn't matter if innocent people are killed defending their stores from looters, which is happening all over the country. David Dorn doesn't matter. The fact that David Dorn was killed doesn't matter to the left-wing media because he doesn't fit the narrative. If a policeman who spends 30 years serving his community is assassinated by these rioters and people are out of control, that doesn't matter. That black life doesn't matter to Piers Morgan. Just shut up. No, I didn't talk about that, but that's not about Trump being bad. What I want to talk about is Trump being bad. I don't actually want to help. I want to just say that Trump is bad. And we all know what you're doing, Piers. We all know exactly what you're fucking doing. We remember that you used to work for CNN. We remember that you used to work for the Daily Mirror. We remember the sort of person that you are. You've been pretending to be nice to Trump just so you, like all the other traitors to Britain and the United States of America and God himself, all the other traitors can pretend to like Trump and then just at the moment they can turn and be like, I always liked Trump, but now I'm saying he's bad. So what I say really counts. I reckon there's a few more skeletons in your closet, Mr. Morgan. And I reckon they're going to start popping out.
I'm asking you.
Doesn't that make the point that when the looting starts, the shooting starts? I don't care who said that.
So you stand.
I have prevented numerous riots in my career. That is an accurate statement.
And you know where that quote comes from.
That if you continue to loot, you are going to bring about violence.
So you think it's right?
Hundreds of police officers in the hospital.
All right. So you think it's right? If I may jump in.
They killed a man yesterday. The president was warning them: if you loot, you are going to provoke violence. He may have picked a quote that comes 30 years ago from some nutty, horrible racist, but that is not what he did on purpose. That's what you attributed to him because you're prejudiced against him and because what you're engaging in. Why would any
president say that?
The kind of journalism you
Why would any... Oh, stop banging on about left-wing journalism, Rudi. Rudi, stop banging on about the left-wing... I'm not the left-wing media.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. You're the worst kind of left-wing media. You're the kind that pretends that they're not left-wing, but really they are.
I've written more fairly about President Trump than anybody.
False and defamatory.
When the president says, when the looting...
You're not allowing me to explain it because I have to talk over you.
Now, you know what? You're talking over me all the time.
Well, you're darn right I am because you're lying to people, Piers.
I'm not lying. I'm quoting directly what the president said.
That was not deliberately taken from a racist. That is an accurate statement. When people begin looting, they provoke violence. The proof is the people who have been killed here by the rioters, not by the police. And by the way, there were only 9 people, 9 black people, unarmed, that were killed by the police last year in America. There were hundreds of times more than that. Black people killed by other black people that the police have to prevent, including black police officers like Captain Dorn, who was slaughtered last night, and it was ignored by the left-wing media.
There you go again, the left-wing media. Why don't we get back?
The police officer was hardly covered in the Times.
Why don't you get back, Rudi? Why don't we get back?
I bet you didn't cover it. You want to bet you didn't cover it?
Why don't we get back?
Because it goes against your false narrative.
No, you know what we covered. You know what we covered.
Which you exaggerate.
You know what we've. If you let me finish, I would say that the deaths of anybody in these protests and some of the rioting that's gone on is completely unacceptable. I don't care if you're left, right, whatever you are, whatever political persuasion, it is wrong.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It is wrong, but I do know that when the President of the United States using inflammatory...
Oh, stop that. You said that 40 times.
Kick it!
That was not a quote that was taken
It's
from
one of the
racist.
most infamous quotes in America.
It is
know
not.
it,
I
and I
never
know
even heard it before. I've been in law enforcement for 20 years, Piers. I wouldn't have known where that came from.
Where did he get it from,
What a bunch of garbage.
Where did he get it from?
What a bunch of garbage you're spewing.
Where did he get it from?
It happens to be factually correct, no matter who it came from. If you start looting, people are going to start shooting.
Right.
They're going to kill people.
So,
and they have killed people, and you don't cover it.
Right, so you, just to
Because
clarify...
you're a bunch of phonies.
Oh,
That's
really?
why.
You know what,
And
Rudi?
I am fed up with you.
Rudi,
You
what
are
happened to you?
professionally unethical.
What happened to you, Rudi?
Nothing happened to me.
You used to be.
Nothing happened
You
to me
used to
at
be
all,
one of the most.
except
You
watching-
used to be one of the
watching
most
how
revered
much
people
you
in
people
America.
lie and distort.
Yeah. Let me just tell you
You
something.
are disgraceful.
You know what,
You're
Rudi?
disgraceful.
You know what, Rudi? You used to be one of the most respected and revered people in America, if not the world. You were someone we looked up to.
Listen to Piers Morgan. Dead girl phone hacker Piers Morgan now attempts to talk down to Rudy Giuliani, the guy who got New York through September 11th, national hero, a man who has served the public diligently with distinction. Piers Morgan is now going to tell him why he's now a bad person because he supports President Trump, whereas what he should do is be a spineless jellyfish like all the left-wing media and just ignore all the facts and just spout Orange Man bad no matter what happened.
Oh,
Somebody who stood for fairness.
Who wants to listen to you, Piers? I mean, really, I am. You can say anything you want because I have no respect for you. The way you're covering this and this nonsense about the fact that a man you know, and you know he's not a racist, that he went and borrowed that deliberately from a guy who said it 30
He should
years
never have
ago.
said it. And you should be big enough to admit he should never have said it. That's the problem. You're so wound up with supporting Trump, you can't see the wood for the trees.
Misinterpreted him. You misinterpreted him on purpose to create.
I quoted
the
him
result
from
that
his
you
own
want.
tweet. What are you talking about?
You are, well, the question is, did he know that came from some racist 30 years ago? Well, he didn't know that.
I don't care if he
And
knew
the
it or
only
not.
reason
He
you
shouldn't
don't
have used
accept
the
that-
I
word.
don't care if he knew it or not. Why the hell was he using such inflammatory language?
It isn't inflammatory. It's accurate.
When the
It's an
looting
accurate
telling
warning.
protesters you're gonna shoot
shooting
them?
It
starts,
is an accurate warning. And
Right.
it actually happened. People have been killed by the looters, including an innocent man last night who was guarding his friend's store, who was African American, and his life matters too.
Why is
Not to
President
you,
Trump? Why
because
is he
it
not?
doesn't fit your narrative.
Why is
You don't even
President-
report on that man being killed.
Why has President
because
Trump?
you don't care about him because it doesn't fit your false narrative.
Why has President
What
Trump?
happened to me is the same thing that always happened to me. I happen to be in favor of truth and justice.
Really?
And you people are in favor of a phony political narrative.
Really? You know
You're
what,
disgraceful.
Rudi? I'm sorry,
And
but
the
you
interview is over as far as I'm
you
concerned.
sound completely barking mad. Do you know that?
No, I don't.
That's the end of the video again. The video's ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending now.